Okay, it's 1 o'clock and we should start. Can you hear me all well? Okay, great. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 6th IPDET mini-series. Good to have you all with us today. My name is Stephanie Krapp. I'm head of program. The mini-series consists of 7 90-minute sessions on cutting-edge topics in the field of monitoring and evaluation. They are part of the IPDET 2020 online program. Only one more session is to come on November 10th. IPDET has been established in 2001, almost 20 years ago. More than 4,000 professionals with diverse backgrounds from all over the world have participated in the on-site program or this year in the online events and have enhanced their evaluation capacity and enlarged their network. In this mini-series, the stage belongs to 2 alumni. They share not only what they learned in the training, but how they could apply it in their practical work back home. This is the most important question. What relevance has the IPDET program? And what do participants gain from the program beyond technical and theoretical knowledge? We will also learn what are remaining challenges in their current work in the field of M&D, or what are new challenges, especially in the light of COVID-19, they are facing, and how do they cope within their organization. So let me introduce you to the 2 IPDET alumni who will share their experiences with us today. This is Dr. Sarah Osman from Lebanon. Can we have a spotlight on Sarah?
Hello, how are you?
Here she is. Oh, hello, Sarah. Amazing. Very, very welcome. And we have Raymond Mensah from Ghana. Hello, Raymond. Spotlight on Raymond. Yes, very well. Hello.
Hello, Stephanie.
Hello, Raymond. Good to have you with us. And a very warm welcome to both of you. And thanks for joining today. So before Sarah and Raymond start,
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Before you both start, let's have a brief look at a video where we ask 4 more alumni about their key takeaways from IPDET. So let's hear to the voices of Ana Diogo from Portugal, Natia Ubilava from Georgia. I've seen her today. She's with us. Hi, Natia. Rajib Nandi from India. I've also seen him with us today. And Verena Dolabella from Brazil. And thanks to them for participating in this video. So let's have a look at the video and get inspired from their voices.
My name is Ana Diogo and I'm from Portugal. I'm an IPDET alumna from the 2018 edition, and right now I'm currently working at Camões, the Portuguese Cooperation and Language Institute from Portugal.
Greetings, this is Natia from Georgia. I'm working for World Vision International in Afghanistan as Monitoring, Evaluation, Accountability and Learning Manager. I'm leading new activities. In particular, I'm responsible for commissioning the evaluations as well as managing small-scale evaluation projects.
My name is Rajiv Nandi. I am from New Delhi, India. I presently work with the Institute of Social Studies Trust as Associate Director.
Hello everyone, my name is Verena. I'm from Brazil. I've been on IPDET on 2018. Has been almost 2 years now.
I want to emphasize the diversity, content-wise, as well as participants were from almost all around the world, which made the workshops very interactive and very interesting to attend. And it also made me to realize how challenging it is to design the evaluation methodologies based on the context.
It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I think it enlarged my comprehension about some specific topics, and also it made me understand how other countries and agencies are dealing with the evaluation function, their difficulties, their constraints, and also the gains of having this approach and using evaluation for decision-making processes. And that really was very, very helpful.
One of the most important takeaways from the IPDET training was the critical awakening of me as evaluator on the possibilities of bringing new knowledge and innovation in evaluation thinking and practice, both from the supply and demand sides.
I'm very grateful of what IPDET brought me on my professional life. I started to understand what is this broad and very interesting world of the evaluation.
So many other colleagues from different agencies and countries were a truly inspiring source for me, and it made me come back and want to have my role and my saying and my voice in pushing forward evaluation here in Portugal.
Apart from sharpening my perspective and enhancing my skills, the IPDET training helped me in articulating my understanding of evaluation as the future of development studies that has the capacity to bridge the gap between the policymakers and the communities.
I got connected to participants, obviously, personally, professionally, and also whenever I need advice for the field, I always can refer to workshop facilitators and get their advice and consult them about specific methodology or approach related to evaluation.
I met a lot of people, and some of them I still connect today if I have a specific question or if I want to know something for a specific call or a country. I easily can connect with those people, and that's one of the main things I really like in the evaluation community, and it was so vivid at that point. Being
on an IPDET brought me this sense of being part of a network, so this is really powerful for a career professionally. When I come back to Brazil, I start my own company of being an independent evaluator, and always in contact with those people who helped me a lot and gave me this knowledge from other countries. So it was very interesting to build this starting point on my career with the support of all those colleagues.
In my workplace, it was really useful to have that experience from IPDET. And I must say that through the connections I had in IPDET, through the knowledge I had in IPDET, I gained there, I feel much more confident to perform this.
Presently, I'm involved with a couple of online courses on basic M&E and gender transformative evaluation for the young and emerging evaluators in India. My enhanced knowledge from IPDET will be applied in designing and execution of the trainings.
So right now I'm working on CLEAR on Brazil. Here in Brazil, it's a center for learning on evaluation and results. We build capacity on the public sector. We are currently working with some Brazilian states and some Lusophonic Africa countries, building capacity on evaluation. Has been very challenging but very rewarding too.
I hope we'll see you again, and let's meet.
I had an amazing experience. I gained a lot skills and knowledge, experience, of course, and I would suggest everyone to, whoever is interested in learning more about evaluations, to attend the workshop, and I hope that soon we can meet again in person. Bye.
So thank you again to Anna, Natya, Rajib, and Verena. And to summarize the most striking takeaways, I think it's all about learning from each other, staying connected and being part of a community. And it's about the importance of evaluation for the society and using evaluation for decision making. So Let's hear what Sarah has to say about her experiences. During her input, I invite you to ask questions via the Speak Up link Matt is showing right now. And please do not raise questions in the Zoom chat. We are using this Speak Up app. So you see the URL code. It's very easy. Just hold your mobile and or type in the web Speak Up info, join the existing room, and the room number is 63216. So very, very easy. So please do that now. And while you're listening to Sarah's input, you can already start typing in questions. And then you can vote for the questions, and the questions with the most votes I will post to Sarah, and Sarah will answer them. So let me introduce you a little bit more to Sarah. Who is Sarah? Sarah Osman is from Lebanon. She holds a PhD in agricultural and extension education and international agriculture and development from Pennsylvania State University. She has a bachelor's and a master's degree in environmental studies from the Lebanese University. And currently she works in the humanitarian sector in the monitoring and evaluation department at the Norwegian Refugee Council in Lebanon. She's responsible of developing and managing M&E systems and plans for the WASH program, in addition to quality control of methodology in research and evaluation projects. Sarah was leading on developing M&E systems and tools for the COVID-19 interventions at the Norwegian Refugee Council, and was also involved in data collection and analysis for the Beirut blast response. Sarah is an IPDET alumna of 2019 and 2020. So the screen is all yours, Sarah, and welcome to share your presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Stephanie, for this great introduction and for this opportunity to speak about our wonderful experience about IPDET. IPDET is not just a program that we learn about evaluation. It's also a family, it's a community, it's a different thing. For me, IPDET was a life-changing experience and a career-changing experience. Let me start my presentation. So greetings from Lebanon to everyone. I'm an IPDET alumni from 2019 and 2020, and hopefully 2021 as well. I feel like part of this family. I don't want to leave this family because it had given me a lot. It was a career and life-changing experience. Let me talk first about the outline. So I will start by an introduction, and then I would talk about the knowledge gained and how I applied it. And I would talk beyond the technical knowledge benefits, how it impacted my life. I would talk also about the Ipd Hackathon that I participated in this year and about the remaining challenges of COVID-19. So let me start to introduce first my organization.
Sorry, you have not shared your screen yet. We don't see the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thanks for letting me know. So, okay.
Now we can see.
So let me start by introducing my organization. So the Norwegian Refugee Council is an independent humanitarian organization helping people forced to flee. They work in crises with more than 30 countries where we help to save lives and rebuild futures. NRC started working in Lebanon in 2006 and had served refugees and host communities in Lebanon in different sectors, including education, shelter, WASH, camp management, cash, community support projects, and others. So prior to IPDET, I was knowledgeable in research methods and research design and statistics. And then I wanted more concrete knowledge about evaluation to match these different pieces and to build on my knowledge to know how to use these in evaluation and how they are how my skills are connected to evaluation. So every time I met someone as a successful evaluator, he told me or she told me, go to IPDET. When I participated in the global mentoring program of Eval Youth, my mentor said, you need to do IPDET. And I was like, everyone is recommending IPDET. And I saw that influential and successful people had this IPDET. So I wanted this IPDET. I wanted it very hard. I tried to apply in 2018, but the deadline has passed. So then I said, I want to do IPDET, and I applied in 2019. And thanks God, and thanks to IPDET, I got this scholarship to attend this amazing program. So what training and have received from IPDET until now? So I had attended the core course in evaluation, the rigorous impact evaluation course, workshop, gender responsive evaluation workshop, digital analytics for monitoring and evaluation workshop, and IPDET mini series, as well as the hackathon. Okay, so the core course. The core course really helped me to connect these different pieces of learning and to understand the evaluation in its cycle, in the PCM cycle, and to understand how to engage stakeholders, to understand about the challenges that we face as evaluators, and that not all stakeholders will be pleased about the different challenges that we're having, to learn about the proper design, the theories, approaches, how to draft evaluation questions, TORs, how to develop theories of change effectively, and the different steps in the evaluation cycle. So how I used this in work. First, when I came back from IPDET, my manager asked me to help in drafting TORs for evaluation that we had. So she said, you took IPDET, now you need to draft with us the TORs. So I helped drafting these TORs using the knowledge I gained from IPDET. We had an ICLA evaluation and we had an education evaluation as well. I also helped different sectors at NRC beside WASH, developing theories of change like protection, accountability, and I would talk about the COVID-19 intervention in my next slide. I also helped developing proposals, and then I also helped in data visualization and making information more visually appealing and more understandable to decision makers. I also led lessons learned workshops to learn from the data, because before we didn't have these done in-house. So, and I helped drafting the 2020 M&D strategy as well from my knowledge in IPDET. I was asked to see this. Regarding the specific COVID-19 response, NRC was one of the first organizations in Lebanon conducting needs assessment for COVID-19 needs. And I was one of these great team members that had helped in developing the needs assessment tools and doing the qualitative and quantitative analysis, as well as in the outcome monitoring. But this evidence-based related to needs assessment, we showed it to our donor, and we successfully were able to have funds. The report we created were visually appealing, and then we linked the needs to the evidence, and we showed the donors, and then they were before didn't want to give us money, but when they saw the evidence, we luckily received this money. I had drafting proposals and log frames, and I created the indicator and reporting system, and of course, this complex looking theory of change. Okay, now going to the rigorous impact evaluation and another success story and another learning that I got from this. So I learned about the different types of impact evaluation, like RCTs, RDDs, difference in difference, and others, and about experimental and quasi-experimental research designs. So what I did is I used this knowledge and I used it for the WASH in Schools program, where I did a pre and post study. And then I had this study presented in the Eval MENA conference 2020 last February. This was my last travel before COVID. And luckily I had the opportunity to present this, and we were able to secure funding for WASH in Schools as well for the WASH in Schools program. So I think this is a big impact. This is just a copy of the abstract presented in the conference. Regarding gender responsive evaluation, This was a great training, helping me to understand what gender is, what are the requirements for gender responsive evaluation, what kind of participatory approach we can use. We are still working on the gender sensitive elements in NRC, and I added some elements to outcome monitoring tools, and I'm providing a training next month on November 19 about the training I got in IPDET, so I to deliver this knowledge to NRC as well. Beyond the technical outcomes and the learning, IPDET provided me with a great confidence to use the approaches and the technical knowledge learned. When I see experts and evaluators from all over the world and our IPDET instructors talking about challenges they face in the field with the evaluation, as evaluators, they face with commissioners or with different stakeholders, that provided me with internal strength to be able to feel equipped to encounter and to face these challenges, face it with confidence and with being very sure that I'll be able to continue in that even whatever struggle I had. It was also a great opportunity for networking and having people from all over the world. And maybe we were talking, I had new friends, and sometimes we talk about possible collaborations between each other. I had very cooperative instructors. It was mentioned in the video, we can always talk to them, email them, and they are amazing. Also, if you can see my background, this is the city of Bern, this is the river. This is the greatest place I have ever visited. This is why I put the river of Bern in my background. It is an amazing city. IPDET did not also give us technical knowledge, but cultural knowledge about Switzerland, about Bern, about different things in Switzerland. So that was amazing. We also visited the Alps, which was an amazing trip. And as you see, I've made friends. These were the groups in the workshop. This is behind the river. This is the river. And as you see, I got a picture with Einstein, who lived in the city of Bern and where we learned a lot about him in this workshop. Okay, then now I would talk about the IPDET Hackathon. I was in the Fix-It team. We won the second prize in the IPDET Hackathon. Thanks to Eval Youth and IPDET for organizing this opportunity. That was really amazing. We had the challenge number 6, where we need to build a tool or to build something that help us to face the challenges regarding data collection related to COVID-19 and to increase efficiency in data collection. So we were thinking, and then we did consultations, and by using the design thinking process that IPDET introduced to us, and by doing consultations with different stakeholders, we came up with the Eval Connector as a solution. Eval Connector is a coordination platform and information management platform that helps to decrease overlap in data collection and to increase collaboration between partners. It helps organizations and evaluators to make it easy to find partners to facilitate collaboration and experience sharing, to minimize data collection activities, especially during COVID-19, where we need to decrease these activities and get this similar data, baseline data from partners who have similar intervention or who collected similar data. And it really helps to increase efficiency by using already existing data, as I mentioned, and to avoid research fatigue and overlap by consolidating publicly available and secondary data and facilitating partnership as well. It's a platform meant to be for different stakeholders, NGOs, universities, governments, and other stakeholders and evaluators and others interested in evaluation. So, and what's really nice about this, that we were asked, IPDET connected us to the World Bank and on how to take this idea forward, which makes this experience that was really online, meeting a team online, like all these people I didn't know before. We met online, worked on it together during 1 week. And now what's amazing is that we're taking the idea forward. It's baby steps, but we're doing it, and it's really amazing. Like, it introduced me to people from different countries. As you see, I didn't know them before, but we're working together to move the ideas forward. So that was really amazing. And also, this year, I was lucky also to receive a scholarship to attend the Digital Analytics for Monitoring and Evaluation workshops, where I learned about M&D system, on how to build M&D system for digital projects. And this is very relevant for NRC as we're doing in chatbots and online learning systems. I didn't have the chance to apply it a lot, but I'll be delivering a training on November 2020 also for the M&D team on digital analytics, the same training, minimize it to a mini version for the team in Lebanon. As remaining challenges, we still have, there is still a challenge in replacing traditional data collection approaches by more innovative ones, especially like we're moving from in-person to online, remote monitoring and evaluation. We are still getting used to this new system. And also what remains as a challenge is sometimes we have complete closure of areas where we cannot access in person. And I would like really to thank IPDET for this great opportunity to have this, to have the scholarship, to have the experience, and also to have the opportunity to talk about how really this program impacted my life. I would like also to thank Eval Youth and Lab Eval for being always supportive. And thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for your insights. And it's really incredible to see, first of all, what you all did during the IPDET program and what you got out of it, and especially to see what were the implications and what you could really apply in your work. So thank you for sharing. Maybe we should show the slide with the Speak Up app URL code again, so that you have the opportunity to type some more questions. My question to you, Sarah, would be, I mean, it's really amazing, especially that you were able at the Norwegian Council to establish an M&E system for the COVID-19 response. And you obviously could develop needs assessment and outcome monitoring tools and so on. So my first question would be, because this is really rarely we've heard about concrete examples of where have evaluation or M&E tools been applied to measure COVID-19 activities in different countries, right? So how did you manage to do that actually? And what were maybe really challenges you were facing while doing that? And what would be your advice to all of us to push those, the development of M&E systems, especially now in this time of crisis, forward? Can you maybe talk a little bit about your experiences in that regard?
Okay, so I would like to mention how we came up with this. First, we had a great team at NRC. It's a team effort. It's not only me, I was part of this team. So we had a great team. They started like developing the tools. They wanted needs assessment. We were working day and night because this was like a crisis. And then we wanted to help refugees who were really frustrated about COVID-19, especially in the camps. And the team wanted to do it very quickly and they were rushing doing it. So we started, oh my God, the tool is now qualitative. So then they started with a qualitative tool. They wanted an evidence right away. But you know, the qualitative analysis takes time. So I started doing the coding. And then when I did, they started developing the qualitative code. Then I did the coding. We shared the coding with other organizations, so it helps them doing the analysis. And then after doing this needs assessment, I said, okay, they wanted to do it in another area. Then I said, okay, we stopped using the qualitative part, and now we have more of a codes and thing. And I created the COVID-19 needs assessment survey, which is more of a quantitative thing. The main challenge for me was then starting like doing the qualitative analysis, but it was like it was like we were really working day and night. And then I asked them, okay, so please now use the quantitative tool. We're really rushing, like it was really tight in time, and we have like to be very fast in this. So the team was very cooperative, and I was trying to get input from everyone on the tool in designing it and doing the different things. And then when we came up with an intervention, the challenge is that we're using new indicators and we need to enter them in the system, and we need to train people on how to report on these, and then the definition of new indicators and creating the theory of change and outcome monitoring tools. It was, and at the time was the main issue with us, because we're doing this very fast and we need to do it professionally and in a good way. So definitely it's a team's effort. I contributed a lot and they contributed a lot. So yeah.
Amazing, but obviously with a lot of efforts and you can do a lot of things. So I have two questions here. Let's see, was it hard to convey your newly acquired knowledge to your colleagues who were missing this great community experience at IPDET?
Of course, no, it wasn't hard, because they were really wanted to have this knowledge and to learn from it. I previously provided some trainings at NRC, and they were eager to know. They were always asking me, Sarah, when you're going to do a training about IPDET? And I was asking my manager, when it's possible to do those kind of training? People are so excited. So there is a thirst for knowledge at NRC, and I think they wanted it, and it was not difficult at all to convey this knowledge, because they wanted it actually.
Very good. There's another question. What is your advice to individuals who want to attend IPDET but are not sure what workshops to join? How do you start on this M&E journey?
Okay, so if you're thinking about workshops, personally, what I did is I looked at the workshops available, and then I started seeing where do I need more knowledge, what is more relevant to my work. And based on that and on the relevance to my work, I chose the workshops. I also looked at the syllabus of the workshop, the topics covered, and everything related to it. So I looked at every single workshop to see what would be more convenient to me and to the organization. And I had a conversation with my manager when choosing the different workshops, so they are sound to me, but also sound for the organization as well.
And furthermore, whoever is not sure what to pick, of course, you can approach me anytime. We could also forward very specific questions to the instructors, so we are all here to help and to assist. Another question. I'm interested in the diversity of professional experience of IPDET students. Which sectors do they represent? Also, how much prior M&E? Okay, this is something you cannot really answer. Maybe you can give us your impression, Sarah, because you were also talking about the networking, right? So because from IPDET participants, they come from all over the world. I think we had 87 countries represented, and with a huge or very diverse background. So what was your personal experience? What struck you most in connecting with other people?
It was really amazing meeting people from all around the world, meeting people who are politicians, who work in ministries, who work in the public sector, people who work for INGOs, people working for the UN, people working for universities, independent evaluators, people with different ages, different experience, different perspectives. It was really amazing to have that kind of experience. There's a huge networking thing in there, and a lot of opportunities to make connection. And also about the networking, I forgot to mention our visit to the SDC, Swiss Development Cooperation. And this was also an opportunity to increase more the network I have beyond also IPDET participants, where we are connected also with a donor organization. And connecting to the guest speakers who were really influential people. And for example, we had exchanged emails, we had asked them for their experiences, they shared with us documents, they share different things. So yeah, networking is a huge thing, and people are different from all ages, genders, and from all the world.
And there's a connected question. What would be your suggestion of strengthening the network of IPDET alumni so that we keep learning from each other, especially regarding specific M&E challenges at the workplace?
That's a great question. Maybe I don't have a very straightforward answer, but things could be like having maybe to meet let's say every other year, to have conferences, to have events, to have something to work on joint projects, joint things. That would be really great. Yani people are sharing experiences already on the IPDET listserv, and they are sharing different stuff. But to be more connected, maybe we need to meet virtually or in person to have some common events, some common projects that we work on, and things like that.
And to add on this, we are working on further developing the e-platform so that more community building will be able to implement in this platform. So far, we are only exchanging via this listserv, so we are trying to modernize that to have better community building activities possible. And I have another great question with a lot of votes. How did you perceive the difference between the on-site training and the virtual training? That's a good question.
Wow. Well, to be honest, I really loved the on-site training more, but definitely the online training was good, and I had new knowledge about how to develop M&D framework for a digital intervention. This is something that I didn't know before. There were a lot of new acquired information and new perspective on things that I didn't have before. It was really informative and really great, but definitely I like the on-site program because it helped me more to connect with people. We had more of experiences together and more of discussions, and more there was more room to interact and to understand things better. So, but also the online program was great as well. So,
and we're all missing meeting people, right? So that's this point of time, it's really a pity. So we'll see how it goes. And another question to the Eval Connector. Will it be actually, or was it actually, or will it be realized? And is it a tool that we can then use?
We hope so. Let's see how things would move forward, and hopefully we can make it real. Now it's still on the design phase. It's still like on paper, but we hope that this would be realized one day, and we are working on that, hopefully, with the help of IPDET and World Bank.
Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing if we could realize that. And then a final question. Do you miss the Swiss chocolates?
Of course, of course. And whenever I see a Toblerone, I said, this is from Bern, the city I was in. This is from Bern.
And I remember that we have a picture where you're holding the Toblerone, really like a huge Toblerone, because this was the prize for the best photo, I think, or video during the IPDET program, I think.
Yeah.
So you were the winner of that. Sarah, thank you so much, and thanks to the audience for all the questions.
Thank you.
That was absolutely interesting that you shared your experiences, and we will definitely see you in the upcoming events, and we are absolutely looking forward to working on the realization of the hackathon solution you presented with your team. So we are all interested in seeing that coming to life. So thank you very much, Sarah. And now, before we listen to Raymond, of course, once again, be reminded to type in your questions in the Speak Up link, also while Raymond is giving his presentation. I would like to introduce you to Raymond Mensah from Ghana. He's a postgraduate in agricultural economics with a focus on policy planning, monitoring, and evaluation. Raymond has over 25 years experience in designing and operationalizing monitoring and evaluation systems as an agricultural economist of the Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. And currently he is providing technical support to the Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation in Ghana, which has been established and elevated to a cabinet status in 2017. Raymond is an IPDET 2019 alumnus. Welcome again, Raymond, and the screen is all yours. We're looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Steffi. Hi, colleagues. Hi, it's technology. Yeah. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Is it not working? No, no, we cannot see. No.
Can you see my screen?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Did you press share screen? Yeah, now it's moving. Yes, now we can see.
Okay.
Very well.
Hi, colleagues, really grateful for this opportunity, and want to share with you my experiences from IPDET. Like my biography said, I've done a lot of MAE, but IPDET was also a special thing. I wanted to have come to IPDET around 2011, but I couldn't get sponsorship. So when I got a chance and I applied, I was fortunate, like Sarah, to be given a scholarship, which was a great thing. So really, really, I owe a lot of gratitude to the IPDET team. I want to run us through what we learned at IPDET and what made a change. Coincidentally, Sarah and I were in the same program, one of the same programs. My presentation outline will border on the Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation, what the ministry is, then my prior knowledge before IPDET, then what the IPDET training offered, my key takeaways, then challenges, and how we try to mitigate them in the ministry in the line of duty, and then my opinion. The Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation initially was a unit in the cabinet, in the presidency. And because it was a unit in the presidency, it didn't have too much clouds. I mean, they did their monitoring, but it didn't see most of their recommendations, didn't see the light of day. But we all know that monitoring and evaluation is to inform decision making. So with this present government in 2017, the need for more accountability and transparency in governance, he elevated the unit to a ministerial position. And of course, he put a very senior minister in charge so that somebody who can be able to talk to his colleagues and be able to rationalize with them on how to move the process forward. So our mandate is to monitor all government programs, but this government also had an ambitious program, and it had 16 flagship programs. So our focus was more on the flagship programs. And what we started doing in 2017 was to invite every ministry. We have 33 of them, 33 MDAs and 6 agencies, to give us 3 priority programs. There are 3 topmost priority programs. And we were able to compile it into a government resource framework. And this government resource framework had its indicators, indicator definitions, a baseline data where it is possible to give, where it's not possible to give. We found ways to generate the baseline data, and then targets going forward from 2017 to 2020. So come next year, we'll be reviewing the government resource framework for priority programs. And as we go ahead, our leaders on to how we want to do this, because we are initiating some evaluation assignments which will inform the revision of the government resource framework. Prior knowledge of monitoring and evaluation before IPDET. Yes, I've been involved in developing monitoring indicators for programs, especially in the agricultural sector. And then in my last life, I was on the microfinance project as an MAE specialist, an IFAD funded program. So I was also there, contributed to developing targets and building the capacity of my colleagues in the other microfinance institutions. Then we also worked with I was working with external consultants and contributing to the evaluation process. Evaluation has not been the aim thing here. It has always been the monitoring. And so for me, my life has always been more of the monitoring part than the evaluation part. One, because of the skill, and then also we all know that evaluation takes a lot of doing. It's quite expensive if you want to do in-depth evaluation. And that is what IPDET was able to change, because then coming back, I realized there are other cost-effective ways you can quickly do evaluation and still get the same results. I have some knowledge of experimental and quasi-experimental methods. And these are things you gather when you work with consultants. And you hear them talk and you try to make meaning to what they are talking about. You later run and go and read about it to make sure that you are with them on the same page. But IPDET also has opened up my knowledge space. And then some knowledge of theory of change, because in my last life, my last project, we were able to use theory of change to redirect the project. But it was done by a consultant. You cannot say you really have a hands-on on it. But IPDET was able to turn this knowledge around. Okay, I will skip this because this also fits into the next slide. So at IPDET, I offered a rigorous impact evaluation, which bordered on understanding the key concepts for impact evaluation, the main features of experimental designs, and the main features of quasi-experimental methods. And these have been helpful in terms of the work I do. Like I said, some of the data we work with did not have baseline data for comparison. So we really needed to find a way to generate the baseline data so that going forward, come 2020, we'll be able to get something to compare with. Then, like I said earlier on, getting more knowledge in using other means of adopting more cost-effective and simpler methods and more rigorous evaluation methods. Then, also, in my line of duty, and especially being at the ministry, we also work with a lot of consultants. And if you don't have the competence to assess evaluation proposals, then you'll be shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, we all do some little consultancies here and there. And you being the client should know what you are buying. Because if you don't know what you are buying, at the end of the day, you end up not getting value for money. So it has also enhanced my competence to do evaluation proposals. And as I speak with you, we are currently going to engage a consultant to do some assignments for us on one of the flagship programs. Maybe by next week or two, we'll start that assignment. It's the Planting for Food and Jobs. We want to see how best we can generate quality data the data they are generating, whether it's qualitative enough, I mean, to inform policy decision. So we are launching that out. Then also this government also initiated a process, a program, Nations Builders Core. The Nations Builders Core was a way to mitigate what do you call it, unemployment. And then also the key thing was make new graduates get some experience. Because most of them, when they apply for new jobs, the caveat there is that you need to have some experience. So the idea was to get them employed in some institutions, both government and private, so that they will be able to gain this experience. And you are supposed to work with the institution for 3 years. In the course of working with the institution, if you get a job, you can go out. So this program has run for 3 years. There's a need to follow up and find out whether it's worth putting the money in, because government gives them, while they are going through that mentorship, government pays them their allowances, and it's that expensive. So there's a need to follow up to find out whether we are government is getting money, value for money. So the NAPCO, as we call it, we're also thinking of doing the evaluation, and I believe my learning in IPDET can be useful. The second program is a theory-based causal analysis. Our main problem has always been attribution, and finding where are we making progress, and where can we lay causality. Working with governments and government institutions, most government programs are difficult to evaluate using quantitative approaches. So it's good to use qualitative approaches and then be able to find out the causal chains. Because if you are not able to really identify the causal chains and there's a challenge somewhere, there's a problem somewhere which needs intervention, you see that you handle the problem in a very different way, and to end up not solving the problem. So it also enhanced my understanding of doing the causal patterns. I would say that it was virtually a 1.5 days training, and for me, I wanted to recommend to IPDET. I don't know how to do it, but if it gets the full 2 full days or even 2.5 days of a training at IPDET or online deepening, for me to be good, because it came virtually at the end of the program and we're just sort of running. So, but my materials I got are helping me to do this. But I believe that I still need some deepening there to do. Then strengthening the use of evaluation evidence in policy and program implementation and service delivery. This is something we are doing. We are doing rapid evaluations to inform program implementation since 2017. And we've been doing a lot of these things to help feedback into government. Then also, with my knowledge on the theory of change, I was able to help one of the ministries, Ministry of Trade and Industry, that's MOTI, to develop a theory of change. It's still work in progress because it has to be a backward and forward thing. We cannot impose it upon them. We have to walk them through for them to understand the whole theory of change. I can say that we have made great strides, and before the year ends, we'll be able to get the theory of change, because the theory of change informs one of their biggest programs. That's a one district, one factory initiative by this government. And if they don't get it right, the program will not be able to achieve its success. So with this knowledge also, we want to, the next planning section, we want to engage all the ministries, the 33 MDAs, and walk them through the theory of change. They have their mission, they have their vision, but does it translate into a TOC? No. for us, our interacting with them, we haven't seen any of them having a theory of change. So we want to work them through it and then see what we can. So give them more direction, and it makes implementation easy. I also went through the introduction to applied test-based analytics in evaluation practice. The idea why I chose this program was that working with about 33 ministries and they generating a lot of data, a lot of reports on that things, there's a need to have quick fixes. What can we be able to get all the data together and be able to analyze it in quick time and then give it to cabinet in real time or the presidency in real time. I will have to confess that I couldn't wrap my mind around a lot of things in the classroom, and we will need to a little more perfection in that area will be very, 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 very helpful. Now, what are our challenges? The challenges as a ministry in our operation has been the data quality from the MDAs, that's the Ministry Department Agencies. These are, every ministry has got a policy planning unit or monitoring evaluation unit, but over the years, they've been working in silos. Over the years, they've been working in silos. So since we came on board to be the umbrella ministry, we are now seeing quality issues in some of the data. And for us, it's all about training. What we did when we came into existence was to let every ministry give us nominate one person who will be a focal person, because ministries can transfer, people can be transferred from ministries in a short time. And then also, if we don't have a focal person, any assignment which goes to the ministry, anybody at all can be asked to do it. But if you have a focal person, any assignment goes to that focal person. Even if the person is going to be transferred, he will hand over to another focal person who will be appointed. So it puts some what do I say? Some stability in the reporting from the MDAs, and therefore we started the training of the focal persons, and these have been both formal, that's they're getting consultants to train them, and informal in our interaction with them, working through the resource framework, looking at their targets, seeing what they've achieved, and how to refine it and writing their reports. Also, going forward, we are getting a consultant to develop a performance portal. The performance portal is to automate data collection, collation, analysis, and reporting. Our focal persons, and we do agree with them, they get a lot, they got bombarded with anybody at all comes in and wants a report. But we believe that this performance portal will solve most of the problem because it's automated. At the press of the button, they can be able to generate any report anybody wants without going to the hard copies of the reports they are doing. Another challenge was delayed data and report submission, and which impacts the compilation and delivery of our final reports from our end. Yes, of course, if I've been an MAE person in the ministry, sometimes if you are not too confident about the data you are giving out in terms of data quality, you tend to hang on to the data for some time, so that at the time you throw it at the collation points, they are also so desperate that they will just pick it and run with it because they are already on the line. So we've been experiencing that, and we've tried to find out why some of the delays do happen. And for us, we realize that is sometimes because of the quality and most times because of the bureaucracy. Because we have told our focal persons and encourage them that they should be sharing their reports with us so that we work with them through the quality issues. And they've been doing that. But sometimes it's through bureaucracy, because always anything they bring to us should be signed off by a senior officer. Sometimes it should be signed off by the minister. So when the minister is not there, or the chief director is not there, or a more senior person is not there, then the reports or data will be sitting at the ministry, and it affects our work. For us, COVID affected us in terms of the data collection and validation. Most of our evaluations we do is on site, and we couldn't get to sites to collect the data, and it affected us. And also in Ghana here, people are working offline, they are working virtually, and sometimes you want a focal person to sit down with and dialogue, and the person is at home working. It's difficult working with them virtually, but we are grouping through it. Fortunately for us, the rating infection rate in Ghana is quite manageable, so we are somehow returning to normality. So things are gelling. My opinion about IPDET. To me, that was really another exposure, and I will recommend it anytime to anybody who wants to go. In terms of coordination, right from admission through arrival in Switzerland and participating in the program. It was a hand-holding thing, and you will never get lost. Meeting others, and especially my Ghanaian colleagues, I remember Ghana had a very strong presence in IPDET 2019. And I met colleagues, some I have met, but most of them I've been met in the line of duty. It was interesting. And also being part of the whole IPDET family. Then also, Miss Nandi Augusti, I've cited her. I think she's on the platform, on the video watching. Nandi also had been very instrumental. We've been sharing knowledge. She's from Trinidad and Tobago. She gets to me. We share a few technical knowledge. We share assignments, and we get to discuss other things. Like I said, the transport system to me was so great, coming from sub-Saharan Africa, where the transport system is a big challenge. The interaction between the public systems and the private, the trains, trams, buses, and how they are intertwined. And of course, the cultural things, like Sarah said, were also quite fascinating. And hearing the story behind the things. These are things you may see in pictures, but then when you get to the ground and you are taking the walk, you are able to see, really understand why you see those things. So I want to thank you all for this opportunity, and especially to the IPDET team and Dr. Stephanie Krapp. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Raymond, for sharing your experiences. And once again, it's absolutely amazing to see what you could implement in your work. And obviously, there's a high interest in the Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation in Ghana. So I just read the first question related to this institutional, quite unique setting in Ghana, right? So you, from an evaluation ministry, which advantages do you see to have a national evaluation system or body? How to convince political decision makers to implement or further support one? And what to do against the fear of feeling being controlled by evaluation? So that's a great question, and a lot of people are interested in that.
Yeah, with experience, we know that evaluation always needs monitoring evaluation always needs a champion. it always needs a champion. And then for us, like I started saying, our current president is our champion because he wants to bring some sort of accountability to governance. So he wants to always make sure that everything that is being done is accounted for. He wants to put the ministries on the block and make sure that they are doing the right things, they are meeting their targets. Because the ambition of the government was big. And if you don't track what the ministries, and the ambition will be done by the ministries. So if you don't get a higher, or I would say a higher, but an umbrella institution to do the monitoring and make sure that the coordination at the lower level is all going on well, we'll never achieve anything. So yes, the main driver is the presidency. And I have to say that really you need the political presence to be able to do the work we are doing, and it really impacts the country. Only for us, president also reads everything we send to him. He reads everything and takes the whip and cracks the whip. So he's setting everybody on the agenda, and everybody is working. We may not have it well, but so going into next year, we are going for an election in December. We hope that we'll still be here to continue his work, and then the ministry will still be in existence. The second part of your question, Stephanie.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another related question. Your scope of work with 33 ministries and many government programs seems massive. Do you have adequate staff, and can you provide insight into how you prioritize programs and M&E efforts?
Yeah, we don't have the staff. We don't have the staff because M&E is also a new thing. It's not something we go to university to acquire. It becomes more of a professional thing. And it's now that GIMPA, Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, has introduced a master's program and I think a PhD in M&E for those who want to have that professional knowledge. So we don't have the staff here. We've got some the numbers in terms of young officers who are also ready to learn, and they are really coming up so strong. But at the top level, it's so thin at the top. But we are working, and we got the. That's why we rely a lot on consultants to be able to help us to do the work we are doing. And therefore, if you understand some of the things, the jargons or the English the consultants speak in terms of M&E, then you can be able to work with them. So for us, that's how we are working. The prioritization, yes, for the government resource framework, like I said, each ministry was asked to come out with 3 top priority projects. So we were able to, we walked them through so that they'll be able to prioritize, because apart from that, resources are limited. So we came to, I mean, agree with them that yes, these are resource budget, because Minister of Finance is giving you a budget. How do you achieve? So at their level, we don't impose on them, but at their level, they are able to prioritize. And whatever we prioritize, whatever we agree on, it goes to cabinet. Cabinet agrees on it, signs off, and that becomes our document. Stefan, I would like to say that our work will also not be complete without the national, what do you call them? Policy for the from them. Sorry, we have the national policy institution. I want to get their name. NDPC, National Development Planning Commission. Our work will not be complete without National Development Planning Commission. because so we do a lot of collaboration with National Development Planning Commission, because like their name is, they have the mandate to make sure that all the policies of all the ministries are also put together. So we need to do that collaboration to get them to get work going. So the National Development Planning Commission has also been there to give us a lot of support, both technically and other supports.
Actually, Mary was asking this question in the Zoom chat, so that the Ghana picture will not be complete without talking about the M&E function of the National Development Planning Commission. And she's asking, what is the difference between the M&E functions of the two institutions?
Yeah, the difference between the M&E function between the two institutions is that I would say that we are doing things real time, because we are monitoring the resource framework. It's just like on the quarterly, by half yearly, and then yearly basis. So, and then giving the feedback to cabinet and presidency on that level. So we are doing it in real time. At the MDBC level, I believe they do it, I think, on a yearly basis, and the Mary should be able to speak to it. But from our, we are not in conflict with MDBC. Indeed, we are working together, but we are working, producing our reports in real time, because to us, a report delayed is no report at all. And from 2017, we'll be able to deliver annual performance reports, latest in January, latest February the following year. In 20, we did 2017, the same for 2019 or 2018. And the earlier it gets to government, the better, because it also helps us to review the resource framework. The resource framework is not static at all. Every year we try to review it because government priorities change.
Mm-hmm. And there are some questions about the performance portal. So can you explain about this performance portal? Are there templates of the portal which you are developing for government ministries to adapt to their needs?
Yeah, we want to develop to their needs. It's like I said, we are just now, it's a World Bank, it's going to be funded by the World Bank. We are beneficiaries to a World Bank project, a public sector reform for resource program funded by the World Bank under the office of the senior minister. So we realize that the most of our institutions are inundated with a lot of data, and the reporting templates differ depending on who is asking for information. So we believe that when we are able to come out with the performance portal, and of course, populate the portal with the right indicators or the agreed indicators, it will make reporting from their end very easy. And also for anybody at all who wants to go into the portal and find out what data you can get. Of course, there will be security checks, because if you are not cleared, you cannot enter the data to work on it.
Sorry, I was not on. So maybe a final question to both of you, Sarah and Raymond. So what would be the perfect IPDET training offered to benefit professionals like you, like Raymond working in ministries around the globe, or Sarah working more for foundations or in bilateral cooperation, and so on? So what would be your advice? Maybe Raymond, do you want to start?
I would like Sarah to start, so I take a brief drink some water.
Can you repeat the question? Because I heard like the perfect training, but for what? I didn't get the question well. Actually.
Yeah, what would be the perfect training offer to benefit professionals like you around the world? Yeah, and working of course in different settings. So like Raymond working in a ministry, advising specifically M&E or in an organization like yours. So what would be your advice if somebody would either start their career or would like to enhance their capacities?
Sarah, can I go?
Okay. Do you want to go for it?
Oh, go. Take a bite.
I think when we talk about perfect training, it's perfect to whom? It's relative. For me, for example, IPDET was a perfect thing that meets my needs. And it was a thing that helped me to boost my career and to change my career and my life. Now I'm going to different steps, doing different tasks, working on a different level, on a more strategic level, more than just doing tools and so on. I'm working more on the evaluation side, on different sides. So perfect training is according to whom and what are their needs. If you are starting your career or if you are your mid-career, IPDET has a lot of things to share and a lot of things to offer. So as a person, I was like starting my career and there I had the core course and it was really informative for me. And it was it was a very good experience and comprehensive. And then if you want more specialized workshops, there are the specialized workshops if you want to get more knowledge into specific thematic areas. IPDET has these things. So it really depends on the needs of the person and the needs of the organization to know what is the perfect training. So there is no one answer for this. It's really relative.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. And Raymond, do you have some advice?
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength with Sarah. Our needs are quite different. But for me, I've seen a question, somebody wants to transition into monitoring and evaluation. I would say that he has to learn the basics. The theory is important because without the theory, you will not be able to, you will be groping in the dark. The theory is very important. And then after the theory, you need some practice. MA is a skills and a knowledge-based thing. The theory alone will not be sufficient. And without the theory, you cannot do the practice. And somebody will need to hold your hand and walk you through. Because even for some of us, we are still going through that learning. And then you should have an open mind to be able to imbibe a lot of learning. And the subject is so dynamic. It's always changing. And therefore, you should always be ready to learn something new. So to me, I think that's the way forward for people who want to go into MA. It's a great thing. It's very, very, it informs your life. Anything I do, I always want to find out what is going to be the output, what is going to be the end result. And it guides you in the way. People will see you as being stiff, but that's not it. The question of, and so what? And so what? And so what? If I do this, and so what? Always drives anything you do, even in your private life. So for me, that's the advice I'll give.
Well, thank you so much, Raymond, for these nice final words, actually. And I think it's absolutely important what you just raised. We can provide a good training and we are aiming for that, but we cannot put you in practice. And then at the same time, how do you get in practice? That is always very, very difficult, especially for those who start with their career as evaluators. So there's Eval use, they're concerned, especially with this question, how young and emerging evaluators can get into practice. And we are also aiming at supporting this. But our possibilities are rather limited in that sense. We try to expand our program from next year on a little bit further. So we try to have a combination of online and on-site formats, and we also try, if possible, to have some regional offers where we can better implement our offers regarding the demand, and we might be able also to have some mentor program implemented so that you actually can have this combination of theoretical learning and practical application. But thank you so much, Sarah and Raymond, for joining. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, and hope to see you sometime at IPDET or in another occasion. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I think there were a couple of alumni with us and new people who are interested in IPDET. So thanks for joining. Thanks for engaging in the discussion. Last but not least, I would like to invite you to the final IPDET 2020 event on November 10. So mark your calendars from 1 to 3 o'clock CET. We will take off to a galactical journey through the IPDET universe. We just arrived from our last space mission, already preparing the space shuttle for our next interstellar discovery. And you will be one of the pioneers exploring new planets with us together. So be ready for the takeoff, be curious, register online, and see you on November 10. And stay healthy and see you soon. So thank you very much, all of you. Bye-bye.
So it has been good being with you. Stephanie, thanks very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Raymond and Sarah. Was good to have you here. And there were really interesting questions.
Yeah, they were. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Steffi. And thanks to the team as well.
Have a nice day.
Same. Bye-bye.
Bye.